Hey guys, welcome back to Extreme Outfitters. Today we're doing a complete bow build, and this build is going to be completely focused on speed, accuracy, and mobility. Let's get into it. Alright, so guys, here it is. This is Xpedition's Xlite 32 platform. This build is actually for me, and I'm building this for the 2025 season. So I was looking for something that's going to be a little bit more lightweight, something that's going to be easy to maneuver around trees and everything. With that 32-inch axle is going to be perfect for that, and also getting good speeds and consistency out of it. So let's get into the specs of the bow. So we're looking at a 32-inch axle bow. It's a 6-inch brace height. We can get speeds of up to 342 feet per second, and the mass weight is coming in at 3.8 pounds. So that's part of the reason why I really chose this bow. Is it's a lot lighter of a bow, and I've already done a little bit of shooting with it, and I've just really noticed that it is a very light bow. I'm trying to focus more on kind of spot and stalk this year. It's going to be kind of my go-to situation for a lot of hunting, especially right now turkey season's coming in. So I'm really hoping to get turkey on the ground with it, and I just wanted something that's going to be able to be very light and maneuverable. So we'll get into all the accessories and everything that I've thrown on it. Starting with the rest, I've thrown on a QAD Ultra rest, especially for that spot and stalk scenario. That's why I chose to go with a cable-driven rest, so I can keep that launcher up, ready to go whenever I need it. The sight, this is the dialed proof. I went with their new dialed sight, and I've got the horizontal pins on there. I really like how I can actually set my pins with that on the horizontal setup. Whereas with their vertical pins, those are a fixed post, so you cannot change that. So I can have my 20, 30, 40 pins set right there. And if I'm going to take a little bit of distance shooting, which going out to TAC as well in Pennsylvania, so I want something that is going to be able to reach out to those good distances. So I've got that set on there, on that pick mount. And also my quiver, I have chosen the Tight Spot Airlock 4-arrow quiver. This is a really nice lightweight quiver. I love how light it is. And I love how it has that built-in keeper on there, so you can hang that in your tree or wherever you need to hang it. Very lightweight, like I said, and it holds 4 arrows, which is more than enough. The arrows I have chosen so far is the Easton 5.0. This is a 300 spine. I'm on a 30-inch draw. It's pulling roughly 70 pounds, and this arrow build came out to 443 grains. I do have just a standard 100 grain point on the front, and then I do have Easton's 5mm match grade 55 grain half out up there too. I went with the air razors on the back from AAE. Very good veins so far that I've done a little bit of testing with, and I really like how they perform. They seem very quiet, and they're also a little bit lighter than the Max Stealth, which is another great vein that I like a lot. And I have thrown a nice little wrap on there, so these are pretty much set up for Total Archery Challenge. So my little personal arrow right there. Going to the stabilizer, I have chosen Ramrod's. This is the Wraith Hunting Series bars. I've been running their bars for quite a few years now, and I actually really like how they perform. Very stiff bar, and I've got a 12-inch, and then I've got 4 ounces of weight up front on there with a quick disconnect. So it makes it easier to take that stabilizer on and off, especially for traveling. And then the peep, I have installed a Hamskea Raptor peep. This is a 5/32. I do normally like a little bit smaller of a peep, that 5/32, especially with my sight being on a pick mount. It is a little bit closer to my riser, so I'm getting a really good setup, good alignment with my peep and sight aperture. So, and then going on to the bow itself, these do come with the ABB Platinum strings, so I'm leaving those on there. These are a phenomenal string. They should be a nice string. You get a 2-year warranty on them as well, so we're going to run those and see how they do. So we're going to go through, I'm going to get everything finished up on the setup. We're going to shoot it through paper. We're going to check timing. We'll take it over the range, get some real world speeds out of it as well. All right, so I'm getting the center shot set currently. And what I've got here is, this is the Hamskea waypoint level. We've covered that in a couple of our other videos. But what this does is it can help get your arrow leveled, and it can also set your center shot for your left and right. So really awesome system from Hamskea. Got the center shot set, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go into the back. We'll check the timing, check the poundage, and shoot it through some paper. All right, so we're checking the timing right now. It is pulling hot, which we have noticed with the Xlites coming in. So it's pulling 74 pounds, which I'm totally fine with. And so it looks like my bottom cam is just a hair fast. We'll get that straightened out. All right, got that timing fixed. Hopefully we'll double check it. Pretty good there. So happy with that. Still pulling 74 pounds. Now we're on to the tuning process, which, I mean, we're still kind of in that. I'm gonna grab an arrow and we're gonna shoot it through some paper, see what we're getting as a good starting point. All right, so as I said before, I'm at 30 inches for the draw length. This is a 442 grain Easton Axis 5.0, and it's weighing right at 443 grains. First shot through the paper, let's go see what we got. So I'm a little bit knock low, it looks like, and a smidge knock left. Let me shoot it one more time to confirm. So one thing I really love about this bow is how light it is, and it's actually got a really nice draw cycle in my opinion. It's not overly stiff. It gets kind of stiff at the beginning, but I mean, once you're going, it's very smooth. It does stack a little bit towards the end of the cycle, but it's not terrible. And I have noticed that the back wall is a little bit shallow, so that is something you got to be considerate of is with this bow. Is you got to be a little bit more consistent into your back wall. All right, let's go take a look. Yep, and like I said, I am a little bit knock low. So let's take a look at this. I have shimmed the bow already. And for that, you do have to bust the axles out. So you have the E-clips here, you press it, take the E-clip out, take the axle out, and then you have your shim systems right here. So it does also come with all of your shims, which is really nice in the box. So just remember that if you do buy one, don't throw out your box, or at least get your shims out of there. Very important thing to keep. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably move that rest just a hair, because it is just slightly knock left. So I'm going to move that rest in just a little bit. Go 3 clicks in. Tighten that back up and let's give her another shot. All right, let's take a look. Yep, so you're there. You gotta be consistent in that back wall. And yep, you can see her there, so I am still quite a bit knock left, so I might have to just go ahead and bust out the shims again. Got it pressed, a little bit of tension off those limbs. So here's all the packaging from Xpedition, and it is nice because they are in their own little baggies and they are also marked. So you got a 14 thousandths and a 24 thousandths, a 12 thousandths and a 26 thousandths, and a 16 and a 22 thousandths. So that's what I'm on right now is a 16 and 22. So we're gonna go to the 14 and 24s. And what I like to do as well is I will start with one cam and then test it again, and then if I need to, I'll shim the top. So I start with the bottom, and then I'll shoot the paper again, and then if I need to, I'll do the top like I said. So it can be a little tedious sometimes doing these shims. One thing I really like to use is this rounded hook, so I can hold the shim while I maneuver it to get the axle back in. Great little piece of advice. And then always with these E-clips, just be careful putting them back on. They do like to fly off sometimes, so just be careful putting them back on. All right, got that bottom shimmed, so we will get ready to shoot it through paper again and see what kind of tears we're getting now. One thing I always like to stress is once you get it out the press, make sure you double, triple check, make sure all your strings are routed correctly, still in their correct tracks and everything. All right. So that already did reverse that tear, so I'm already a little bit knock right, as you can see right there. So I'm gonna move that rest back out, those 3 clicks that I took, and shoot again. That looks like a winner. Can already see it from back here. There we go. Right there. It might be a smidge knock right, which honestly at this point, I'm fine with it. All right, we got everything tuned up. Now we're gonna see what kind of speeds we're getting out of it. I'm gonna do a 3-shot average, and I'm hoping for about 300 feet per second. All right, got 3 shots right there, and let's take a look at the average. Average of 298.3. Can't complain there. That's pretty good. I really love, like I said, how the bow feels. It's pretty quiet with that magnet material. It's super light. It's going to be I think a very good shooting bow. So I'm excited to get it more out in the field, get some more time underneath it, and go from there. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to shoot it at 30 yards a little bit. It should be pretty close to my sight. and we'll see how everything feels. Let's be a little bit right. Yeah, the bow seems to hold really well. I'm very happy with how it feels. That was gonna be left. Bow seems to hold it phenomenally well. There we go, that one felt really good. Yeah, the bow seems to hold really well. One thing, like I mentioned before, is the back wall just seems really short. It's a very short valley in there, so still kind of playing around with that, getting used to it. But all in all though, very impressed with the bow. It seems to hold really well, just a little bit of shooting I've done with it. And like I said before, I'm just excited to get out in the field and hopefully get some animals under it. Yeah, I'm super happy with that. Obviously, I still need to kind of fine tune my sight a little bit. But I mean, I felt like some of those shots, I was all over the place. And I mean, that group right there is phenomenal. So just a little bit of moving around on my sight. And I mean, yeah, I feel like that's a very forgiving bow. Because like I said, I felt like I was kind of all over the place. But I cannot complain with that right there. So very, very happy with the Xpedition Xlite 32. All right, so there you have it, guys. This is my Xlite 32. I've got the QAD Ultra Rust on there, the dialed proof on the 3 horizontal pins, Ramrod's 12-inch stabilizer, tight spot airlock 4-arrow quiver, running those Easton 5.0s. Very impressed with how it performed so far. Like I said, at that 30-yard group I had right there, how I just felt like I was a little bit all over the place, but the group was actually a lot better than I thought. So very stoked about that. I'm excited how it holds, how it feels, the weight of it. So awesome bow for anybody that's looking for something for tree stand, saddle hunting, ground blind, spot and stalk. This would be a great bow for those hunters. So as always, guys, we appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you head to our website at extremeoutfitters.com for all of your archery and bow hunting needs. Or if you're local, come check us out. We're right here, right outside of Camp Lejeune in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Let us know in the comments how you would have set up this Xlite 32. What would you have changed? Anything different? I'd love to know. Drop them in the comments down below. We'll see you guys in the next video.